Hey everyone, this is Alex.
This is Vashka. This is the Fool's Odyssey podcast, episode number 14. What are we talking about today?
Usually you have more stuff to say after that. So
This is a second take, so I kind of like don't want to redo it. I'm not good at second
okay.
take.
Okay, so
Yeah.
was it a couple of days ago?
Mm-hmm.
I set up this display case for my action figures, right?
Right.
Yeah, and I was able to finally put them in a case because before at my old place I didn't have that much space, so I just kind of just put them in the closet or put them on the bookshelf or leave them on the ground or something, right?
Right.
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 So now I'm able to take these toys out, or as I like to call them, dolls, because really they're just dolls. So I like to take these dolls out, let them breathe, finally be able to pose them the way I want to. It's pretty cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
So
wait, how many of those things do you have anyway?
I'm more than I would like to admit.
Because as far as I remember, you have a crap ton. I remember that. You got a bunch
Yeah,
of
the crap ton.
amiibo. You got a bunch of Marvels and some Star Wars too, right?
Yeah, for sure. I think Star Wars make up the bulk of my collection.
Oh, really? I only see like
Yeah.
one Darth Vader and Darth Maul, I think. No, Darth Maul only, I think.
No, I have more now. I have Luke. I have
Now?
yeah. Now I have like Luke's and Yoda's and stuff like that. So
So all you're saying is that it wasn't there before.
no, it wasn't. Yeah. See, this is the thing about this. Okay, so actually, this episode will be about hobbies.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, but one of my hobbies is like, I collect dolls and stuff because I like the posability of these action figures.
Right?
Right. So I prefer the high quality posabilities, stuff like that, just because it's more dynamic.
Mm-hmm. Well, because for me... So wait. So you don't like the static one? Like, the one that's just in
Like
one
the
pose
statue.
with a stand? Yeah, like a statue.
I appreciate the details for the statues, and I get that it's really high quality
Yeah,
work.
yeah.
But the thing is, most statues, or at least most statues that I would want, are like $300, right?
So?
So for that price, I could probably get like 3 high quality figures, or like 3 or 4.
Okay. I don't know. For me, I don't think that's a... I want to say like a fair comparison because it's just a different goods.
Yeah. Well, though that's the thing too.
Yeah.
I also prefer as I said, I like the articulation of the figures versus the statue.
Articulation. All right.
Yeah.
Because for me, I have some. Well, for me, my passion. Well, I wouldn't say passion. The stuff that I actually would like to have a lot of is Gundam figures. Those
Yes.
plastic models
Yeah.
where you create the part. Like not you create the parts. You cut off the parts and then, you make and then parts by parts, piece by pieces, and then got the Gundam ready. I like those. The process of making it is actually fun for me.
Oh yeah.
It's just that as of now, I unfortunately don't have the space and the stuff for that.
Yeah.
Just kind of rough for me. But that, and I also got a statue of I don't know. When I bought Soul Calibur 6 Collector Edition,
Oh yeah.
I got the statue of Sophia, and the detail they put into that thing is kind of staggering, and it's big too.
It's
I was like,
insane. It's very
yeah,
insane.
I was like, because this is what made me ask you like statue and action figure, right? Because I think statue is totally, if for me, if there's anything, if the what do you call it, the end goal is just what do you call it, like a furniture kind of piece of furniture kind of thing.
Oh yeah.
I think a statue, like you just leave it there and it looks pretty.
Yeah.
I think a statue would just do just fine.
Because for me, I
yeah.
oh, sorry, you continue.
Yeah, for me, because for me, like my Gundam and stuff, I kind of have them like hanging too.
Yeah.
It's that because their joints are movable and whatnot, right?
Yeah,
Even they have a
exactly.
stand and whatever, they move around, as in like they keep falling. It won't stand in the right position. It's yeah, that's
I see.
that's my
I think because I prefer to like be able to like move it in different
Interact.
positions or have the ability to do so, right?
yeah.
Versus just like, don't get me wrong, there are some statues that I would want for sure, but that I would probably say that's like near the bottom of my list versus other stuff that I would get first.
Ah, I see. Though right now, though, I don't really have that many Gundam plastic model or statue or action figure for that matter. The one that I actually have a lot of is plushies.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't see it at your place though. Do you hide them?
I have like six laying around. I just didn't show it to you.
Oh, okay.
There's more of my like luggage too.
What got you into collecting plushies?
I don't collect it, and it's more like they well, a lot of people gave it to me. My cousin gave me
Oh,
one. I have one when I was like 3 years old. I still have it till now. My teddy bear,
oh
and
yeah.
yeah, and yeah, pretty much like those kind of stuff. And like for me, the one last one I bought was the marshmallow. Did you
Oh,
know that
okay.
the marshmallow cat?
Marshmallow cat.
Yeah,
No,
it's a
I,
it's a fluffy round plushies that just like you just want to lay there and then just sleep. It's so fluffy. It's dangerous. I sleep with it just
you
like
didn't buy any
cuddling,
of
just
the
like
ones at
sleep.
work.
That's the one I bought it from work.
Oh, okay,
That
got
was
you.
back that the marshmallow something. That's what it's called.
Oh yes, yes. Okay, now I know. I know the brand now. I know
Yeah,
what you're
yeah, yeah,
talking
yeah,
about.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Because every year I don't know if, how can I say, they refresh their lineup, so there's like
Hmm.
different animals.
Yeah,
So now there's like a, I think like a unicorn and a
because there was
penguin or
an
something.
owl. Yeah, I
Yeah,
wanted
an
the
owl.
owl and the cat, but the owl sold out. So I was like, oh,
So so every year you want to get at least one.
no, 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 not every year. It's just that one I saw at that time. I was like, ooh,
Oh, I see.
the owl seems nice. I want the owl.
I think they had last year. They had like a pan. No, not a panda. Like a red thing.
Red?
Was it a red
Oh,
panda or
the
a
no,
fox?
no, it was a fox.
Oh, fox. Okay, because I thought the fox was pretty cute at that time.
It
But
is, but for me, the owl is better. The
yeah,
owl
see,
was
like,
look goofy. Ouch.
because like the thing is for plushies,
Hmm.
I don't think I would buy them for myself anymore.
Any more? Why?
If I was to buy a plushie, it would be to give it to somebody. I wouldn't buy it for myself.
Why? Oh, you just don't.
Yeah, because I don't really use it or anything like that. Oh, actually, no, that's not
I
true.
was
I
gonna say,
bought this
but I think you'll use it more than an action figure, though.
yeah, because I bought this backrest that's like
Uh,
shape of a bunny. I'm
yeah,
using it right now.
that's what I mean. Plushies are useful. Keeps your nightmares away.
It is. I actually kept all my plushies that I had as a child too.
Yep,
I have this
as
one
you
that's
should
I
do.
have a Greymon plushie.
Greymon, really?
Yeah, and then like his, you know that the
I
his
had a Gabumon and I lost it. Oh, I think my cousin had it now.
that sucks. Because
Yeah.
oh, for my Greymon, you know his head,
Yeah.
like that brown part,
Uh-huh.
is like starting to peel off or something. So
Wait, how
like
does it
little,
peel off?
because it's old, right? So like little bits of him is falling off.
Really? My teddy bear
Yeah,
was like still prime and clean.
really, like he's not losing any furs because it's very
No.
common for. I guess depends on the quality of the plushie as
Hmm.
well.
I had it since 3 years old. That's like 20 something years ago. Holy shit.
Yeah, but like it could also be like the manufacturing or the materials that they use don't last forever, right? Yeah, because all my plushies have some kind of damage in one way or another.
Well, because you're using it properly, I guess.
Maybe I don't know. Yeah. So your other hobby, Gunpla, right?
Yeah. That thing's expensive.
Before the whole COVID thing,
Uh-huh.
uh, Bosch and I were planning to go to Black Friday, Black Friday shopping, right? Because of
Yeah.
the to get a bunch of Gunplas.
Hmm.
And our one thing that we both wanted to do was to get this perfect grade Millennium Falcon for our boss Mark, right?
For our dad.
Yeah, for our dad, work dad Mark. But it was sold out, and
It was super expensive too.
I mean, yeah, of course, it's perfect grade, right? So
Yeah.
it's perfect grade. It was sold out, but Boschka didn't show up.
What do you mean I didn't show up?
You
I
left
went
me
all the
high
way
and
up.
dry. That's why. Remember, you had to call me. And it's like, hey, can you get some stuff for me? And you ended up not decide not to get anything.
Wasn't I working? We met up in Metro, didn't we?
No, we didn't.
Yes, we did.
No, remember you phoned me and you're like, and my phone was running out of batteries. Like you had to do something. I forget what you had to do. I think you had to hang out with your family or something.
Was it?
Yeah. Well,
Because
anyways.
I remember that going to Metro and then it was like calling you and whatnot and trying to like get in touch with you and stuff, but you were like not responding, and I was like, God damn it!
Well, maybe you can try again. Not maybe not next one, but like when COVID's done.
I'm not gonna go with you. Gonna go with my friends. Nah, we're probably not gonna get a perfect grade as much as I want to.
I don't know if I have. Oh, actually, no, that's
I'm
not a
gonna
lot.
wait till I get to a new place before I could play that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, perfect grades is cool and all, but I think I prefer. Okay, so before we get ahead of ourselves, we have to explain the grades. How many grades are
Oh.
there, Bosch?
There's RG, HG, RG, no MG, and then PG. So there's a regular grade, like
Yeah,
normal grade.
yeah,
There's a high grade, the
yeah.
HR, the master grade, and the perfect grade.
Oh no, no. RG is real grade.
Real grade?
Yeah, that's a different thing now. I think. Yeah. Okay. So high grade is the basic Gunpla. Like that's like what $20
Is
ish.
Yeah.
It's
Isn't
like
there
the
one that was
cheapo
like lower than that?
models.
The one that's only like actually like 4 piece only, and then you stick them together, and then
Yeah,
voila.
yeah. These are like the beginner kits. So if you're not comfortable with like cutting plastic and
Yeah, and like
pushing
small
them,
pieces of yeah.
yeah. So that's the one to use. And then the next one up would be Mastergrade,
hmm
and that one
I
is
was
a
so
little
sure
bit
there's
more
four.
complicated.
I was so sure there's like 4 grades though,
No, no, there
with
is.
PG being on top.
Yeah, yeah. So Mastergrade is like more advanced, and there's more parts to it, so yeah,
hmm
take longer time to build.
hmm
And then it's a bit more expensive too. I think it's like $30 to $40.
hmm
So mind you, we're speaking in Canadian prices,
Yes, Canadian dollar.
right? And then real grade. So real grade, I would say, is like in between master and perfect grade almost.
Really, I barely see any real grade though. Oh, is it
The,
like only special? Like I don't know.
you probably seen it, but you didn't pay attention to it.
Maybe.
So the difference between uh, real grade and master grade is that real grade actually is sometimes better than the master grade version,
Oh.
and it's also different because for real grade they have a skeleton, and then you put the pieces onto that skeleton.
Oh, that's what RG is.
Yeah,
That's why. I see. I
yeah,
see.
yeah.
I see.
So that's why I say it's in between master and perfect grade because
Right.
it's also about the same price as a master grade, but depending on which Gundam it is, sometimes the master grade is better and
A bit
sometimes the
more.
real grade is
Yeah.
better. Now, the reason I say it's because it's in between master and perfect because perfect grade is the most expensive kind,
And the most time consuming.
most time consuming, right? It's like two
It's the
hundred
hardest
bucks,
one. Yeah, 200, 300.
$300, right? There's like LED lights for that thing. There's like a bajillion tiny
Not
pieces.
necessarily though. I don't think there's LED in it, is it?
There is.
Some are.
Some have
Some
them.
are.
Some have them,
Like
yeah.
Exia does has it, but
Exia and Unicorn. Not Unicorn.
Unicorn too? Not Unicorn, I don't think so.
What's the other
Because
one
I know
called?
Exia has it. Banshee?
No, I think it's Unicorn. Unicorn Gundam.
You sure?
Yeah. Well, anyways, I know there's two model kits that have LED lights.
Mm-hmm.
Exia and I think Unicorn.
Because the one I wanted was Exia and Wing Zero Custom.
Oh yeah.
That was like my baby.
Yeah. And then Perfect Grade also has like a skeleton frame too, I
Oh, so
believe.
for PG, you create the skeleton too, right?
Yeah, I think you could create it.
Yeah,
Yeah, so RG kind of mimics the Perfect Grade like
but just toned
building
down.
style. Yeah, but toned down. Also, I think the Perfect Grade scale is bigger too, right?
Compared to MG,
Yeah,
it should be.
right? Because most of the model kits are 144 scale, right?
hmm
And then
That's for
PGs
normal.
are like 160 scale, right?
Yeah, kind of like that.
Yeah.
60?
So these things are huge. So unless you have the space for it, I would not recommend getting Perfect Grade.
It's huge, but it'll look really pretty if you
Oh
could
yeah.
get one done.
And then see, Now, here's the thing about Gunpla that I love the most is that
Hmm.
you're able to.
Move every single thing.
No, no, not that. It's
No.
kit bashing. So you're able to
Oh, is
mix
it
and
like
match different
yeah?
parts.
I can do that with MG too, though.
Yeah, that's the for any Gunpla you can mix and match,
Oh, I see.
and you're able to paint the Gundam, so
Yeah.
it changes the style of the
The
Gundam
tone. Yeah.
completely. Like some of the stuff that people have done, oh my god, it's amazing.
Because I saw a Wing Zero and Exia mixture.
Yeah,
That thing looks so sick.
yeah,
With
exactly.
with Sword Impulse like parts too. I was like, holy crap,
Yeah,
that is not fair.
and you can also customize it to have LED lights too. So it's not like certain models can only have LED lights. No, all of them can. Yeah. And then I was watching some videos of like the World Gunpla competitions or something like that, where they people build the gunplas like this like diorama almost, and they like have it was it competing for competitions, right?
What do you make competing?
Was that?
Oh, for like aesthetic,
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah. And some of them are
uh
really crazy. I think one of the two that I liked I saw was like there's a Wing Zero
mhm,
and another Gundam, like kind of like touching each other, uh like the painting, the
touching
David
each other.
painting.
I was about to say wordings, Alex. Wordings.
You know the one where David is like touching God's hand with a finger, right?
Finger.
Yeah,
Yeah.
kind of like that. But then the Gundam is like cut in half, so he's like missing half his body,
Mm.
and then Wing Zero is like flying down to reach him. And then the one that I
Cool.
really liked was this Gundam
Uh-huh.
painted so that it's like covered in moss, has trees growing on it. It's like a
Oh, the sniper one. Yeah, that was old, dude.
yeah, but it's like
Yeah, that one was amazing. Yeah.
antiqued, and then like there's animals on it. Like you can do a lot of crazy stuff with these things.
Yeah. Because like with the airbrushing with like just correct shading, you could make it like they look dirty, like they have dirt on them.
Oh yeah,
And with the good diorama too, you could like make them like they're on the battlefield, and not just like some people are like portray Gundam very clean, right?
yeah,
Even after battle, whatever, they just clean. This one they make it look like they just came out of World War II and shit.
yeah. It's kind of interesting to see how people like own ideas come to life almost.
Yeah. Because well, that's it. That it is, right? Again, like action figure, it's just action figure up to 11,
Yeah,
not just action figure at the like the setting and the everything too together, just to make it even up to 11.
yeah. Like Gunplas, like you spend maybe like $30-$40, and if you put the time into it, you can make that thing look like $100 easily.
Oh yeah, you could even sell the whole thing if you
Oh
want.
yeah, that's true. People actually make money off of it. Like
Oh
they
yeah.
build the car, they build the kits, paint it, and then sell it off for twice the amount or something.
Did you know about the fact that somebody made an actual Gundam from the plastic left over of the?
Oh yeah, I heard about this.
Yeah, that was pretty sick.
Yeah, like people like so these Gundams, I guess people call them runners. Like the parts that are connected to this like plastic tray, or people call them runners.
Oh, it's called the Runners. I
Yeah.
never knew what it's
So then
called.
when you cut them out, and then you have this plastic out, and you don't know what
You
to do with
just
the plastic piece, right?
yeah.
People actually keep them, melt it down, and then create their own like Gundam parts.
No, 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 no. The one I saw wasn't that.
Oh,
They didn't melt it down. They used the runner as is
oh,
to make it like this runner Gundam thing.
oh, really? Huh.
Yeah, it looks really sick. It was a human size too.
That's really crazy.
I was like, yo.
Because actually, the thing about the plastic is that I was hoping to like learn how to mold plastic
Oh.
and mold maybe I don't know if I want to say metal, but maybe aluminum or something like that.
Aluminum would be better.
Only because I'm starting to collect physical copies of DVDs now, right? Because of 4K material.
Are you gonna melt them?
No, no, not the DVDs. Because
Okay.
so the thing is, there's this like limited special edition thing for DVDs, right? Called a steel bookcase.
Oh
Yeah,
right.
and it looks It looks cool. Like you have it too. Your
Yeah,
Ghost of Tsushima,
I do.
the steel bookcase, right?
And Dark Souls, yeah, I have it. Yeah.
So I was kind of hoping that I'm able to somehow make the DVD plastic to put the DVD in,
Mhm.
and then a steel
Ah, but
bookcase.
your custom, yeah.
Yeah, because when I
I see,
looked
I
it up
see.
online, I've only been
Mm-hmm.
able to see people using steel bookcase that's already been made and just like
Mm-hmm.
painting it over basically. Like they take the paint
Mm,
off, they take the pictures off, and then put their own thing on it.
right.
I want to be able to see if I can make one from scratch. You know, I think that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, it would be cool, but well, step by step, right?
Yeah,
Step by step.
yeah, because
Well, if you are learning how to do it, let's do it together. I kind of want to learn how to do that
I think
too.
that'd be pretty cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
I also want to Gunpla and dioramas. I want to
Metal
be able to
molding.
learn how to make like rocks, trees, grass, and kind of just make like a diorama too. I think that would be pretty cool. Because
Oh, I wonder what they make it. Do you think they make it from plastic
those stuff, no, but those stuff are easier to
or
do. But
clay?
then there's a lot of stuff that I kind of want to learn, but there's like kind of like no real application for it.
What do you mean by that?
Because when you're making a diorama, that's for yourself, right? I mean, there's some really cool
Yeah.
stuff you can do with the
Hmm.
dioramas. But then the steel bookcase, if we
Yeah.
can learn how to make that, at least we can sell it, right? People will want to buy that.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I agree, but I think the diorama and what stuff you could sell it too, right? If you make one with the setting
I mean, that's true.
that you want to sell it. Yeah,
There's always someone who's willing to buy it, right?
exactly.
But
Because a lot of people, for example, like want to have these kind of settings, but they can't. They have to make it, and they don't want to make it, and we know how to. So pretty sure somebody will buy
yeah,
it.
because the main reason why I want to learn how to make dioramas and like stuff like trees and rocks and whatever, because
Mhm.
it would be nice to put it in a display for sure to make it look
Mhm.
more like
Mhm.
dynamic and more cool and stuff. But
Mhm.
the main reason is because I told Bashka this, like I want to eventually learn how to do so what's it, stop motion, right?
Right.
Right. So having those stuff
But I
would
think
be
stop motion. How do I say this?
is very time consuming.
Is
Yeah,
less. Yeah, time
very
consuming. Yeah,
time
but it,
consuming.
it takes. That's all it takes though.
Just time. Yeah.
Just time and patience. That's it.
Yeah. But who knows? Maybe I'll just be like, don't want to do that anymore. But I would still learn. I would still want to
Yeah.
learn how to make dioramas.
Yeah. Oh, maybe we should do the thing. We make dioramas and then have the figure stop motion with us like voice acting it and
Oh
stuff.
yeah.
That's pretty sick, don't you think?
Because I have a few ideas of either we do it for stop motion or we do it through Source Filmmaker.
Social maker. I think that's doable though.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. It's probably more doable in Source Filmmaker because that's
Such
not as
filmmakers,
time
yeah.
consuming, I guess.
I was going to say, I think it's less, and I think the more we do it, the better we'll
Hmm.
get.
I mean, either way, both of them are for fun, so I'm okay with learning both if we have to.
For now, it's for fun. We don't know what other. Just like this podcast. For now, it's for fun.
I mean, I don't
We'll
know.
see
I
what else
can't
it is.
really. I don't want to say never, right? But like, I can't really see this going bigger than it already is right now.
I could.
Really, you're more
Yeah.
optimistic than I am, and usually it's the other way
Not
around.
optimistic. No, it's not optimism. I don't do optimism.
So you're saying it's real? You're a realist. You're pragmatic.
Yeah, like it's doable. We just need a better exposure, and second, like a better topic and better guest and stuff like that.
Maybe. I think as it comes down to, as you said before, like patience and investment
Yeah.
in time, right?
Hmm.
Yeah. Also, the reason why I'm getting a little bit more excited about these things is because at our
Hmm?
workplace, there's a
Right?
workbench, and I was like, "Oh, interesting."
Wait, there's a workbench? Where?
And in the aisles with where they sell like all the washroom stuff. Yeah, so
Oh,
that's why I was like, "Oh, I can definitely use like because the with a computer desk, you don't really want to get that dirty, right? Because that's where the computer is. But then if you get a
right.
workbench, oh, who cares if you get glue or if you scratch it up or if you paint on
That's what
it?
it meant
It's a
for. Yeah.
workbench. I was like, oh,
I
interesting.
was going to say, why don't you just make it? I think we can just make one workbench. It
Yeah,
won't be that hard, would it?
but I don't know. It's because they already have drawers and stuff in there. So yeah,
Ah,
I mean, I have to look at. I didn't look at the price. I
more
just looked at it
convenient.
and was like, oh, that's cool. I'm sure you could make one too, but then I don't know. See, that's the thing. When you are working with wood, you have to have the space, uh,
And the
the
tools.
tools, right? And then you have to deal with the mess and the sound,
Hmm. Hmm.
right? So that's the worst part because the sawdust you can't breathe that shit in. So you gotta make sure you have a filtration system.
Hmm.
Because if you breathe that shit in, you're gonna fuck your lungs up, and you're gonna get cancer. Then
I don't think it's cancer. I think it's just your lungs could get serrated. That's for
oh
sure.
no, you develop cancer from breathing in sawdust. That's a thing.
Really?
Uh,
I thought your lungs just gonna be like shredded.
well, they're not like little sawdust. Isn't like little chips of wood. It's like fine dust.
Yeah, fine dust. You don't think that only will like shred your lungs when you breathe them? I'm pretty sure it will.
Maybe. And then the sound is another problem, right? Because these tools make a lot of sound. So you gotta make sure you have hearing protection, eye protection.
Yeah.
Not only that, but you gotta make sure your neighbors are okay with it too, right? Because if you're like cutting wood at like 10 p.m., people are gonna be like, "What the fuck?"
Just be like, deal with it.
Yeah. So I believe the working hours are from like 7 to 5 or something like that. Like that's the time you can make noise, and no one can complain about it.
Yeah. I see. I
Yeah,
see. I see.
I in our city there's like a rule for it. I just don't know when it is, but I know there is a rule for it.
The
Yeah.
exact thing, but
So
yeah, we could totally.
as Bhaskar said, know the rules, play within it.
Did I say that?
No, you said know your limit, play within it, but
Ah,
but same thing,
I had no recollection of saying any of those.
same thing.
Uh,
What other hobbies did you have?
well, other than video games, I wonder what.
Oh, so me and Bashka used to go to the gym together,
Hmm.
so that was kind of fun.
Not by choice.
But I don't know during those times. Okay, so here's the thing. I don't know why, but when Bashka and I were working at night, so after work we was like, hey, let's go to the gym after work, right? So at nighttime there's
Hmm.
nobody there. We're able to do our own thing. But for some reason I get gassy when I go to the gym at nighttime. I don't know why.
You're always
I know I'm
gassy.
like a ball of gas, and it annoys Bashka to no end.
Don't talk to me ever again.
He's seething with rage. Okay, so I actually got a funny story.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember this.
Hmm.
So me time, was it one time? Me and Bashka were, I don't know, I guess technically it's like a stretching area. Um, and
Right.
then Bashka was doing sit-ups, right? But he wasn't very good at doing sit-ups, so I was holding his
Hmm.
feet down.
Hmm.
And then Bashka let out a fart. And then I didn't say anything.
I
Yeah, you
did?
did. I didn't say anything, right? Because
Hmm.
I was just like, in my mind, I was like, okay, Bashka, if you don't say anything, then maybe, we just like, oh, we just say it's the mat or something, right? So then you
Yeah.
went down. And then as you were coming up, your face turned red and you started giggling. I was like, oh my God, Bashka, what the fuck? And then beside us was like these two girls. They got up and left. I was like, no, not like this. Not like this.
I don't remember the one part I remember was that my pants ripped.
Oh, yeah.
That one was bad.
Okay.
Was me stretching and stuff, and my pants just ripped, and I was like in the middle of the gym. I was like, oh.
Oh, I don't think I was there for that. You're probably working out the soup.
No, you were there. You were
No,
there.
no.
Because you were asking, dude, why's your pants like ripped? I'm like, what? I didn't even realize it if you didn't point it out.
Oh, is that so? You heard the rip sound?
No, I didn't.
Oh,
You pointed
okay, yeah,
it out.
because
So I don't know how long it's been ripped for.
yeah, because me and Bashka were in the changing room right after our workout, and then I walked by Bashka. I was like, dude, how come your underwear has a hole in it? And then Bashka was like, fuck you, I was like, he didn't believe me.
What are you talking about? And then I look at it like, holy crap, it is. That was a problem.
Uh,
So, ladies and gentlemen, if you go to gym or public area, make sure you're you're properly prepared.
before the whole COVID restrictions, right? You were doing spin class. You can tell us about that. How was spin class?
Uh, it's messed up. It's messed up for people who don't do cardio. I mean, I don't say don't do it, but don't compare yourself to other people.
Oh yeah, of course.
They will do insanely horrible, and you'll be doing like nothing. Like they're probably looking at you and like, what, really? You can't even do my warm up kind of thing. So you just ignore
I
them.
don't think they would
Fuck
do.
them.
I
They
think they're
suck.
more focused on them
No, they
on their
don't.
own workout. Yeah.
Yeah, them themselves. That's what I mean. A lot of people, for example, like me, because me, I'm not very what do you call it? Not train. I don't work out as often. I don't do cardio a lot. I do most of the stuff is like muscle building and whatever
Mhm.
like that. And spin class is purely cardio. And a lot of people who tends to go there, are there to improve, right? Especially like
Mhm.
themselves. And though a lot of people, for example, like me, like the fat ass like me who tried to join that, got like a bad result and get like very very pessimistic. You know what I mean?
Uh,
Don't be. That's what I mean. Just
but
do it.
Bosch,
Because what happened was that when I did it on the
yeah.
first week, my limit was like 8.7 or something.
What do you mean by 8 points? Like kilometers?
8. No, I think it was maybe was it kilometers? Maybe in like an hour and a half class.
Okay.
So they kind of did like the heavy like climbing up with like heavy gear and then lower it down for like sprinting like back and forth
Mhm.
like that and then stuff like that. So my first like on my first class I did
Mhm.
8.7, and then the second class I got something happened so I couldn't come, and on the third one I showed up again. I did
Mhm.
it again. I went up to
That's
11.6.
good. That's
So
improvement.
that was an insane amount of improvement.
So
So
what's that?
yeah, for whoever,
Yeah. Sorry, you continue your story.
for whoever's trying to improve themselves, just focus on
Okay.
yourself.
So
Because at the end of it, it's the best feeling ever.
what's the average in the spin class?
I don't know what they said was that they want to go 25.
Oh,
So
see, like,
and they told Soup, it's like, Soup, you can do 30. Come on. I'm like,
well, they're
shit.
probably pushing him because he's the athletic one, right? He
Yeah,
claims he does like 10K runs like every other day or something like that.
because he did. Because he did. He did it every day, not even every other day.
See, but that's the thing though. Like,
If I go to the park, I could see him
that's the
running.
thing though. Like, if he's able to do all that stuff, he should be able to do 30 no problem, right?
I don't know about no problem. The resume's kind of messed up, so.
It's because he does consistent cardio. He doesn't do high interval training.
Well, my annoyance is that I'm like, dude, you could totally do fucking better than that. Why didn't you like try harder? Kind of that,
Oh,
Because at the end of that, he was like, okay, that was good. I'm gonna go home and then do my 10K. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? If you have that much lax, fucking push yourself harder.
yeah, I guess. Like, because you said it to me too. Like, when I go to the gym, I know my limit and I try not to push to my limit.
I'm like, what are you doing? Push your limit then. That's why you're
Yeah.
going to the
Well,
gym. Trying to break your
yeah,
limit.
that's the whole point of going to the gym, right? Push yourself to be a better version of yourself. But
Well, yeah, because like when I go with Alex, every time, like me, I would be like pretty much dying on the treadmill or
mhm,
whatever. Like I couldn't even breathe and shit. I would like have to drink water like every
mhm.
10 seconds. And I just see Alex just like jogging slowly, looking at me, not even sweating. I'm like, what the fuck is this guy doing here? Like,
You don't have to sweat all the time when you go to the gym.
you have to. That's what you're there for, to sweat.
Do you miss going to the gym?
Yeah.
Were you, how consistent were you when you went to the gym?
At least 3 times a
Oh, that's
week.
very good.
Most of the times more, like 5 times a week.
I miss like sometimes going to the gym. Like sometimes I miss it, but I don't miss it a lot. If that makes sense. I know some people out there who are
What do
just
you
like,
mean? For
oh man, I really want to go to the gym and stuff like that. And for me, it was just like, either or, it doesn't really matter.
well, I don't want to say like, oh yeah, I gotta go to gym and shit. Like I don't
Yeah.
want to say that because I'm
Mhm.
not either. It's just that for me, going to the gym and then be tired and then have your energy spent on something that
Yeah.
you're actually doing instead of spent just like
Mhm.
mentally. You know what I mean? Because like nowadays, for me, when I'm tired, it's not because I used it, my physical strength. I use my mental strength, so I'm tired mentally, but my physic is still like like raring to go. So I'm like, oh, I'm too tired, but I can't. Like I'm not like, it's just like it's a conflict, and I'd rather be tired mentally and physically, and then just pass out and never wake up till the next day.
Oh yeah. See, the thing is, I think that's mostly because I don't want to say you have sleep apnea, but it's might have sleep apnea. So like you don't breathe properly when you're sleeping. Like your nasal passage is like blocked or
Oh no
something.
no
So you breathe with your
no
mouth.
no 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 no. That wasn't my thing. My biggest problem is that I'm very sensitive because of the stuff I did when I
Mm-hmm.
was younger. Every small footstep wakes me up,
I see.
and usually I would like stay up a bit late because most of my shift makes
Yeah,
me go
yeah.
home late, right? I would sleep like midnight and then wake up at like 9 or 10, or like if it's my day off, I would wake up like I would still be awake until like 3
Mm-hmm.
a.m. Then sleep until like 10 or like 11, those
Oh,
kind
I
of
see.
stuff,
Yeah.
right? But other people would be like doing their daily stuff in the morning, like 6 a.m. They're like walking up and then making food and stuff, and like just the thought of somebody walking like outside my door, I was like, whew, I'm like, what the hell?
Oh, interesting.
Who's there? Like, yeah, and that really tires me
Yeah,
out,
see,
dude.
that's the thing. So that's why I want to say when you're mentally tired, I think it's because of that.
Yeah, but like when I went to the gym and like I'm
Yeah.
super tired, that thing won't wake me up
Yep.
because my physic is just
Yeah,
like way too
exactly.
tired.
That
Like I can't
that's
deal
a
with
good
that.
that's a good kind of tired. Not the I can't go to
Yeah.
sleep. That's a shit tired, man. That's an awful one.
Well, that's what I mean because my physic was still okay. Only my mental was
Yeah,
tired.
man, that sucks.
That's why it's awful. That's why I have to like work. Maybe a lot of you would be like, yeah, work out at home then. Well, I can't. I'm too lazy.
Yeah, that's the thing, right?
all all my procrastination item is all over
Yeah.
here. My switch over there, my phone is over here, my computer's right here, my TV's
Yeah,
over there.
exactly.
Like everything is in hands reach. Like what makes you think I'm gonna do a sit up here? You
The only time I
crazy?
sit up is to wake up and use the washroom.
The only thing I leave my room is when I need to eat.
Like, yeah, that's the thing. Like, I always say, oh yeah, when I get home, I'm gonna do some exercise, like maybe a couple of push-ups and here and there, right? Nope, I just go straight to my computer, do a few things, go play on my PlayStation, and then go to sleep. Like that's it. That's my day. you know.
Sounds like a really good day.
Yeah, I was like, oh man, I did a lot today. Rinse and repeat the next one. That reminds me, which is kind of off topic. Well, not off topic, on topic, but I didn't segue it properly. But whatever. It's I think an interesting hobby that Bashka has is that he likes to make and create stories.
It's not a hobby. It's more like, well, I guess it's a hobby because
It is a hobby. It's a very. Would you say of your list of hobbies that you have? Would you say that's your number one?
I could say that's the one that no, because the thing is like I'm very like busy mentally. Like the inside of my head is very
Yeah.
very crowded,
Oh yeah.
so to speak, and so
Yes.
and a lot of
Yeah.
the crowd tends to lean toward negative. For example,
Interesting.
like hating other people, just like like it's just the bad stuff. Like it's in my head, but then sometimes
Wait. Hold on. Did you say hating people was a negative? Where's the negative in that?
it's not negative to other people. It's negative in my mood. I don't care about the other people. They can do whatever. They could drown in their own jizz for all I care. What I'm saying is that the feeling of me hating other tires me. It increased my
I
blood pressure and
see.
it makes me tired and it hurts.
Oh, I see. So it's not that the idea of it; it's the idea that you put a lot of effort
Exactly.
into it.
That's why it sucks.
Okay,
I don't care
got you.
about hating other people. It doesn't matter. But when several
I see.
voices in my head just like pushing me and like just trying to remind me like all the crap like goddamn Alex, why can't he put like all this stuff, like why does it all come up at the same time, why is he like labeling all the bloody thing that we don't use so much, like so many, like we don't need this one. Like what is he doing? If he has so much time doing nothing, wash something, like this kind of stuff. Like I just have this thing running in my head. So
See, why don't you say those things out loud? Would that help
help who? No.
yourself? Because mentally, your mind is like a cage, keeping all those like negative thoughts in your
But ever
mind,
since I
right?
was a kid, I know how to suppress it and how to let it flow. It's a
Yeah,
yeah, that's
but
the thing. And what it is that most of the time I would be listening to music, and according to music I could just blank out and just make up story in my head. That's the only thing. It's a good distraction. Making story and stuff is just a good distraction.
So okay, before we move on, I want to say that when you keep things in, that's bad for you, right? Like holding in a fart, right? Because when you hold in a fart, it goes into your bloodstream, it travels up to your brain, and that's where you get shit ideas. So that's why I always let my farts out. I never hold it in anymore.
Next time you're not holding a doorknob, I'm gonna break your finger. And in our workplace, there's no doorknob, so
But I'm saying you shouldn't keep those evil thoughts in your mind. You should just say it.
but it's a thought. It's a mental thing.
Mm. I'm sure you can.
Mental things shouldn't be solved physically.
All right. So okay. Before we
Yes.
continue with your story ideas, on your list of hobbies, how would you rank them?
What do you mean by that?
Like, video games. Would you say your number one hobby, your favorite hobby, would be video games or something like that?
I don't know because for me, I like reading too. So reading and video gaming, that one's is like neck to neck. Because when I don't feel like playing games, I like reading.
Mm-hmm.
When I don't feel like reading, I want to play games.
I
Right
see.
now, I feel like playing games. So
So that's like it alternates.
yeah, and next month I'll probably be reading. Yeah, it's just
Okay,
it's
and then
just the on
story.
and
I
off.
guess story building is the third one.
It's only when I'm free, like when I got nothing better to do, like something like a good music just passed
Mm-hmm.
by and give me like ideas. That's
Okay,
where I write stories.
that's a good thing to have though, to be able to come up with stories. I think
You
so. I
think?
mean, you came up with some pretty good ideas.
Out with good ideas.
Well,
It's too complicated that even I myself struggle to understand it.
I think that's the point. Is like because you claim that you need all the details in there because that's how the story works. But for me, I'm pretty sure you can edit or cut some stuff out.
Oh, I know. No, the thing is, like for me, like when I write it, I would have a whole detail. Like I'll make sure
Mm-hmm.
there's no plot hole kind of thing. But the thing is, like that's not the way of writing that I want. I want to write as less detail as I can to make the reader speculate.
I see.
Like what is this to this? Like this any connection to this? So I don't want to. That was my ideal. But the thing is, like I want to do that, but I want to make a backbone first, in a sense that yes, these two are connected,
I
but I'm
see.
not gonna tell you. But there is a connection. You
I
know what I
see.
mean?
So you want stick.
But again, I'm kind of shitty at
I
storytelling,
think
so
it's hard to make a good story, right? Because
it
of
is.
like the movies and the books that you watched and read.
Well, well, for me, it's just the telling part was hard. Coming up with an idea and whatever, I think it's all right for me. But the telling it out is the
I see.
hardest part.
I think the main story that you are working on
Yeah,
right now
nothing.
is like you said you wanted to be 13 books. Was it 13 books or just 13 arcs? I forget.
There's like at least seven main arc and then probably 5 to 6 kind of like a background like side characters and world building stuff. So
Yeah, see, that's
yes, that's a
it's
lot. That's
a
more
lot
than
of
Harry Potter.
information for your stories.
I know. That's the thing because I have all the information in my head and that's the problem. You know what I mean?
Have you written anything down yet?
No, I don't want to.
Because I think
I'm scared.
actually I don't want to say our ideas for stories are similar,
Stellar.
but there was one story where I came up with, and then you explained the story of yours of a story that you had in mind. I was like, oh, we came up with like a very similar plot.
Which one is that?
I think it was the God, I think, where God and the devil were fighting, and then the humans were just like the playthings, right? Yeah, yeah.
Ah,
But I wasn't able to make that story like. I wasn't really interested in the story. I just like the concept of that, right? Where
yeah.
God and
For
the
me, I
devil
got
are
the
fighting.
intricate background and stuff too.
Yeah. Oh, did you have a title for your story?
Which one?
Uh,
Which one?
how many stories? Okay, well, let's start with this. How many stories do you think of in a week?
Like original or like the doujins too?
Oh my god, originals.
Originals I got 1, 2, 3. Is that a 4? Nope. I guess for now it's only three.
So you have three
I think.
stories.
The one that I remember at the top of my head, yes.
Okay. Do you have any titles for them?
Yes. Ish.
Ish. Okay. Give us the work in progress titles.
One is The Runner.
The runner. Mm-hmm.
The other one is The King and Queen of Promise.
The Kings and Queens of Promise.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the other one is, I'm not sure about this one.
I hear zippers.
Which is, huh? Zippers?
Yeah, I heard
I
something.
didn't touch any zipper.
Okay. So the third one is called I'm Not Sure About This.
Kind of.
Okay. Interesting.
I want to say a witch's journey or a queen's journey,
Queen's
kind of like
Journey.
that,
Okay.
but I don't know.
Interesting.
Not
Okay.
yet.
I mean, those are pretty cool titles, I think.
No, it's just basic. I want to keep it basic.
So now, actually, you brought up something interesting because doujins, right?
Yeah.
So, okay, doujins are just basically fan-made stories,
Yeah.
Fan fiction.
Like fanfics kind of thing.
fan fiction, right?
Mhm.
So, for me,
Mhm.
if I were to make a doujin,
Mhm.
I want it to be more like like the thing is, if I had the money somehow and got a studio backing or something like that,
Right?
I would make movie adaptations of like mangas and animes and like video games.
No, I wouldn't recommend that.
Maybe not movies, like maybe TV series, because there are some shows that I would want to see translated onto the big screen. I think those
For example.
Gantz.
But there's already so many guns, though.
I know, but there's no English American version of Gantz.
You want an American guns?
Mm-hmm.
There's an American Monster Hunter.
Was that?
There's an American Monster Hunter.
There is, right? But they don't. See, that's the thing. Hold on. Let me finish my list first. I want to do a Psycho
go
Mob live action,
Mhm.
and then there's another one. Was it God's Games?
Mhm.
I think that's called as the God's Will. I think. You know that one where they play children's games to determine who's the next god. Yeah, so those.
Isn't that kind of like hiatus for like the longest while?
No, it's finished.
Is it finished now?
Yeah, because part one finished, and then he made a part two.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, because on the part two was, no, I don't even want to spoil it, but I remember the last part where they were like doing like this kind of like cultural sport kind of thing,
Mm-hmm.
and then they have like exploding poles or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then the last one I saw was that one of the two main characters
Yeah.
grabbed the pole and then chuck it at the so-called god,
Oh no,
and it exploded on them.
that's the end of part one.
Oh, that was the end of part
Yeah.
one.
And then after that,
there's
he
a
made a
part
part two.
Mm.
Yeah, so those are the three animes that I would want to make into a movie or TV show.
Hmm.
Right. And then for me, so going to guns, American Guns,
Mhm.
I would make it so that I wouldn't have a like American version of K Corona or American version of Masaru.
You want to make your own story.
Yeah, exactly.
but
I'll
just
have
the
my
American
own
branch, right?
ideas of my own characters. But here's the thing: you know the catastrophe arc when
The last one?
the final arc when Kay was putting out a message like, "Hey, we need help. Is there anyone to help us?" I'll connect that to the American movie. Like that's like an Easter egg.
That's the intro.
Yeah, that'll be a cool Easter egg, right? And then we can meet up with the characters and stuff like that. It wouldn't be a one-to-one translation. It would not work,
Of course.
in my opinion, to have a
Of course.
one-to-one translation. I know people.
Because that's not
I know.
adaptation is all about.
Yeah, I know people wants it. I know the fans want to see a one-to-one translation, but it just won't work. That's why the MCU is so good, right? Because they follow the outline of the stories, but they don't copy it. Like all these superhero
MCU?
costumes, they're like based off the characters, right? But they're not, for sure one-to-one translation, right? Like Hawkeye doesn't have his weird purple suit.
Mhm.
Right. What else? Thor doesn't have his weird, goofy helmet.
Mhm.
Captain America doesn't have the wings on his helmet either. Who?
There's a wing. Oh, I guess there is.
The wings on the helmet. Both of them have them. None of
Looks
them.
ugly.
Right. So that's why you have to have creative. What's it? Creative liberties or artistic liberties with the medium. Yeah. What else? What were you gonna say? I'd be.
Oh, because for me, like most of my
Mhm.
doujins is usually a nitpick of like let's just say a series that I really like,
Mhm.
but they're kind of like gone the wrong way. Like just say, well, I mean, I don't want to say this, but it's like let's just say Bleach.
Oh yeah.
Like at the end, it kind of went the side way,
Yeah.
right? And it could have ended in a better note, kind of
Mhm.
thing. I kind of want to do it on my ending, kind of thing.
I see.
So it's very faithful to what the original is. It's just that there'll be like certain elements that will change the story like drastically.
Mm. So you're saying, do you wait for the manga to finish, then go like, okay, I want to do my version of the ending,
No, not
or
necessarily.
so you do it
For
as they're going.
example, like I'll be watching it as it's going, right? There's something going, huh? That's weird. And then keep watching, and I'm like, yeah, no, this part, if this like this, it would have been like this, and then I would write that, and then expand it upon that.
Mm-hmm.
And if the ongoing has some elements that I like, I'll integrate it to the thing,
Mm.
So it's just kind of like an alternate universe kind of thing.
I see. Okay, that's pretty cool. Because it's funny you bring that up
Hmm.
because I believe. Have you ever heard of the story 50 Shades of Grey?
Nope, I've heard the name, but never really watched it or read it.
That's okay because that novel is
Hmm.
actually a fan fiction of Twilight.
I kind of can tell.
That's what it started off as, right? A fan fiction. And it spun off into like what 3, 4 movies and like 3 books and pretty successful.
Really,
Yeah.
that much?
Yeah.
I never knew.
Yeah. So
Holy crap, that's horrifying.
yeah. But now that I told you, and then now that you
Hmm.
basically write fan fiction sometimes, it is quite possible
Hmm.
you can change your fan fiction to like an original story.
Yeah, but well, the thing is, like, at least for my what do you call it? Like my story, it's too like the
Mm-hmm.
dojins, it's too faithful to original.
I see.
Like it has a lot of elements. Like for example, like one of the dojin that I'm like working on right
Mm-hmm.
now is Naruto
Mm-hmm.
dojin, and in that universe, like the Jinchuriki, like the one who has those tailed beasts inside
Yeah.
them, are pretty much like the ultimate weapon. Like they're so strong that
Oh yeah, yeah.
nothing can fight them toe to toe.
I would agree with you because in the Naruto series, the Jinchurikis are super weak.
Kind of trash.
Even though they're
Yeah,
supposed to be
that's
the
what I
strongest
mean.
beings on the planet, they're
That's what I mean.
super weak. Aside from
Like
Ninetales, everyone else is kind of like Garbo.
yeah, because how this is like in my story, like each like of the
Yeah.
village has 1 to 2 of them, kind of like that, and the only reason why they're not, it's like I'm treating them like a nuke. The only reason why they don't just get thrown out in the field is because other people have them too. You know what I mean?
That's interesting concept. But I
Yeah.
say
So there'll be like a weird Cold War kind of
yeah.
thing going on between the thing, but the balance kind of break apart when Konoha and Tsunagakure, Gara
Yeah.
and Naruto become friends. Now there's an alliance.
Right.
So yeah,
See,
that's where my story.
so my gripe with this story,
Starting to-
that your
yeah.
story, is that
Mhm.
if these are nukes, right, and they use them as nukes,
Mhm.
why would they treat Naruto like shit?
Oh no, in my story, the reason like they don't treat them like shit. For in my story at least, they're afraid of Naruto.
Oh, I see.
It's a walking nuke.
So you change it a little bit. So it's more like it's more fear than
So it's not like people making fun of him and like telling him stupid stuff and running. The kids maybe because they don't understand the
yeah.
fear, but the adults are just like no, stop, it's alright. And they would like do like this fake smile and like hey, and then just as they back away kind of thing, like those.
I see.
Yeah, it's probably a worse, maybe even worse because they don't do it like, but they could feel the coldness.
Actually, now that you say it,
Yeah.
I think that's what they're going for in the original manga too, right? So
Yeah.
it's pretty much actually the same, more or less the same.
Yeah.
But you would assume that you treat these guys with more respect and more, give them money and shit.
No, because here's the thing. They're a walking bomb, and for example, Naruto's a kid. Try putting kid on a pedestal, see what's gonna happen.
Oh yeah.
That's what
It's
I
like the
mean.
Twilight Zone episode with the children in the cornfield. Actually, okay. So now that you told me
Yeah.
the Naruto idea, right? You
Uh-huh.
can easily change that to an original story
How so?
because Naruto is just based on like ninjas and the adventures of Naruto and doing his crazy shit, right?
Yeah.
The Jinchuriki
Yeah.
isn't the main focus.
Cause I'm gonna tell you one thing. Like in my
Hmm.
story though, they are more ninja than Naruto is. In Naruto, it's pretty much like a Dragon
Yeah, it's a
Ball
Dragon
kind of
Ball
thing
thing. Yeah,
too, right?
yeah,
Because Naruto could shoot like spirit bomb and then like it blew half a village or something like that,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
In this one, no, they can't. Like Naruto can, but other people
Yeah.
cannot.
Well, it makes sense in your context because of the
Yeah,
Jinchuriki, right?
that's the thing. Because like a lot of the battle won't be 1 versus 100 kind of thing. It'll be 1 versus 1, 2 versus 1, and it's like a very high skilled like fist to fist ninjutsu battle.
I see.
So less of a like shooting a fireball that engulfs the whole forest, or like making a forest out of nothing, or like freezing a whole ocean, like nothing like that. So it's more like almost like man to man battle kind of scale.
Because so my idea
Mm-hmm.
is that you should, if you're gonna do an original story based on that concept, it should
Mm-hmm.
be all focused on the Jinchurikis. But you can call them something else, right? You can say they're like
Oh,
hybrids
by the
or
way,
mutants or whatever,
by
right?
the way,
Anything.
yeah. Well, in my story
Yeah.
anyway, the main character isn't even Naruto, so like the point of view isn't even from Naruto.
So
So
you can easily,
yeah, maybe I
yeah.
could.
So in my opinion, you can easily manipulate that into an original story.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe get rid of the ninja stuff and change it to something else. Yeah.
Yeah,
But other than that, I think that's
clan of
I think
assassins.
I think that's a really crazy idea because you have because was it? It's very similar to Godzilla. Remember when Godzilla was supposed to be like personification of the nuke happened in Japan in Hiroshima?
Oh,
Yeah. So it could be like,
I never knew that actually.
was that?
I never knew
Oh, you
that
never knew
actually.
that, right? So
Yeah.
and then I think Shin Godzilla was supposed to be their take on the new the new nuclear war happening or something like that. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
because actually the old school, not the new school Godzilla, but the old school
Yeah,
Godzilla
the old one.
movies, they're all based off
Mm-hmm.
of like world events, right?
That kind of makes sense
Yeah,
actually. Now that you mention it, because I watched the new
yeah,
Godzilla, right? The way it react and the way they dissolve the
hmm,
situation, it's kind of like how they pretty much taking down a nuke
yeah,
factory.
exactly.
Like I'm like, oh, so that's why.
Oh, actually,
Now
no.
that makes
I
sense.
think the King of the Monsters, Godzilla with the
No, I didn't mean that one. I mean the other one, the Japanese one, not the
no, no,
English one.
no, no, no. We watched Godzilla and King of the Monsters, right? You remember that scene where the Japanese
Mm-hmm.
guy was talking to Godzilla because he had to activate the bomb? He was like, "Thank you, old friend," or something like that. I
Right?
think that one scene was supposed to be a reference to Japan and the whole bombing situation.
Right.
The whole movie itself is kind of like, a whole action movie. But I think that one scene was supposed to be a reference to the bomb. But anyways, yeah, Godzilla has
Yeah.
like historic political undertones to it.
Ah.
So
Is that an interpretation, or is
it
actually
actually
is?
is. Like even the monsters, I think like Biollante, the bio mutant demon,
Mm-hmm.
he's supposed to be like the was it the personification of like pollution and all that stuff. Yeah, yeah.
Oh. What about Mothra? Mothra. I like
I
Mothra.
don't know what she's supposed to represent, like because she's like a healing thing,
She's
right?
kind
So
of.
maybe,
Is
yeah.
she? Is she healing? I thought she's like fucking goddess of sun or whatever. I
Oh no,
don't
no, yeah,
know.
she's worshipped as a goddess, but her special powers are like a healing thing. Yeah. So I don't know all of them, but I just know some of them. But yeah, so if you take the concept of Godzilla, you take your concept of with the Jinchuriki Narutos, you could probably make something
Mm-hmm.
that's based off of real world.
Yeah, but I don't.
Re-
I don't roll that way. I don't really care too much about the real world.
Yeah, but you can get inspiration from it too, right? Like the Cold War between
Yeah,
North Korea and
that is true.
America. That's
That is true. Yeah. Well, you kind of boost up my confidence in writing my story down now.
yeah. I kind of got too excited talking about that stuff.
Yeah, but that was a good talk though. I like that.
Oh, before we go away, I was gonna say something about the Monster Hunter American movie.
Oh yeah, yeah. I was too scared to watch it.
It actually looks good. I'm not gonna
Oh,
lie, it looks good, except for the intro part. That sucks.
the intro was bad, but everything
Yeah,
else is good.
because okay, so for those who didn't watch, so Monster Hunter, based off the game Monster Hunter, a very popular game in Japan and somewhat popular in Americas,
Hmm.
more so now than it was before.
Because of the
Yeah.
world, yeah.
So obviously the opening scene is a military crew, drives through the desert, finds some ancient artifact, gets teleported into another dimension.
Oh, so it's not even in the world.
It's not even based off of Monster Hunter World, no.
No, 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 as in like the monster isn't like roaming in like what do you call it? Like in modern
Oh no
world.
no no, it's not.
They
It's not.
don't.
Yeah, so they end up get transported to another world, and that's where they see all the monsters there.
So it's like Jurassic Park kind of
Yeah,
thing,
kind
except
of.
it's different.
So yeah, so the
Ah.
intro part obviously garbage. They even say the cliche shit like "go go go." I don't get paid enough for this shit. Like that's
Yeah.
above my pay grade. All that cliche shit.
Why have we heard that line before?
But then when they actually get into the Monster Hunter world, like the
Yeah.
area, everything looks good. All the monsters look
Yeah.
exactly how they should. There's no creative
Uh,
liberties with those.
Liberties.
The monsters
Mhm.
sound and move how they're supposed to. It's great.
Wow.
It's really awesome. Yeah. They even
Wow.
the weapons.
Have you
I've
watched
seen
it
the
or what?
trailer.
Oh, just want to watch it later when it comes out
Yeah.
on your 4K TV, your new 4K TV. How about that?
Maybe if it comes out, sure. And then you know how in the trailer they're using guns to shoot the monsters, right? And I thought like,
Did they? I didn't even watch the trailer
oh
because I'm
okay.
afraid. I told you.
Okay, so in the trailer, there's like using the guns to shoot the monsters. I was like, oh my god, is this how it's gonna go? But actually, when they get into the Monster Hunter world, they have to use the Monster Hunter weapons to.
Why? Does the bullet doesn't work? Or-
It's probably because the weapons have magical properties. I don't know if they explain. They'll probably explain the movie, but me speculating is probably because
Yeah.
they have magical properties to cut the monster, right?
Well, for me, it's not magical. It's more like the monster, like scales and body, are just that much
I
tougher.
see.
Like bullet doesn't work on it, but like because it's their own
Yeah.
parts, right? So the weapon made from those parts will have that strong, tough, sharp property. That's what
Yeah, it
I'm
makes
thinking.
sense. Like to cut a diamond, you need another diamond or something like that, right? Kind of, but
Yeah.
I know you can cut others. You can cut diamonds with other stuff. But just saying.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, and then the main character Mila Djokovic, I think that's his name is. She
Yeah.
uses dual swords,
Okay.
and
Ooh.
the reason why she said she wanted to use dual swords is because that's the character.
Because she had dual sword main.
Yeah, because she played the game, and that's what her character
She's
used.
actually
So
is.
that's why she's using dual swords. in the
Damn.
in the movie.
Okay. Respect
Yeah.
went up.
She's actually a fight. Not a. She's a. No, is it her? No, it's Jamie Lee Curtis. Jamie Lee Curtis is a video gamer. Because I remember her son participated in fighting game tournaments.
Oh.
Yeah. So actually, a lot of the famous actors and actresses are into gaming. We just don't know about it, right? Because they don't talk about those stuff.
Well, I guess.
Because
Yeah.
most of the time we see it on TV, they're always promoting their next movie or their next project or this or that, right?
Yeah, they're never talking about
Yeah,
their own.
hobbies and stuff like that. It's very rare that they do. Right?
Yeah.
Because people are more interested in knowing, who are you dating now, or when are you gonna get married? Are you guys having twins?
Who's your main?
Stuff like that.
What was your armor set? Like nobody would
Yeah,
ask about
exactly.
that, right?
It's
What's your HR? What's your MR? you know?
yeah. Okay, enough of my ranting. Anything else you want to add, Bosch?
No, I was just surprised that this topic is actually that much more valuable than originally expected.
Yeah.
So,
So
yeah.
that's the thing when we do these podcasts. We start off low, and then when we talk about something, all of a sudden it goes up all the way. Yeah.
Yeah, because because I don't know the topic. I never knew ahead of time
Yeah.
what the topic is. So until it was actually sung by, I won't, I won't be hyped up. And the thing is, like, both of us know how bad I am at like second take.
Mhm, yeah.
So if he told me ahead of time what the topic is, we would talk about it, and then there would be nothing for the podcast. So,
Yeah.
and that is all my fault, by the way. That's just my bad.
No, it's because we
So,
we like to discuss about the stuff, and then Bashko will be like, "Oh shit,
Yeah,
should we record for the podcast?" And I'm like, "Yeah," and I'll just continue the conversation anyways because I don't really give a shit.
yeah.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
it, eh?
Yeah, that's
All right,
that's a good one.
Bosh,
All right.
do the outro.
All right then. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. This is Fool's Odyssey podcast, episode
Yeah.
14.
Oh, hold on. Before we
This is
sign off,
Bashka.
please don't forget to email us at foolsodyssey92@gmail.com. See, this is the thing. If we want to be more
Right.
popular, we have to.
That's true.
Yeah, we have to
that is
promote
true, that's true.
ourselves.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
So foolsodyssey92@gmail.com. Feel free to leave us comments or message us about anything really.
Yeah, feedback or like a topic for the next
Yeah.
time or whatever would be really, really appreciated. So, if there's anything you want to know about us or about
Yeah. So
whatever,
maybe we'll do a Q&A episode one day.
our thought about stuff, yeah. Then that might be, might be enjoyable for all of us. So, anyway, thank you for listening. This is Washka.
This is Alex.
See you again next week. Bye bye.
Okay, bye.